Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This is one of my favorite quotes from Napoleon Hill because it lays out the synergy between our brain's power and the intuition guidance of the sixth sense. And if you think about it like this, the brain is the radio. So the radio, it broadcasts your thoughts and you turn into the signals of the world. That's what the brain is because it's inputting inputting and outputting, there we go, information and thoughts and receiving signals. The sixth sense is the signal that you receive when your radio is perfectly tuned and guiding you through the inspiration and your intuition. And as I thought more about that, I thought, how powerful is it when those two are working together? To have our brain, which is one of the most powerful things that we have as individuals, because our brain is the center. It is the engine that makes our car go. It is the thing that pushes us forward, that if it doesn't work, we ain't moving jack squat. Everything else fails. But when it works in perfect synchronicity with everything else, oh my goodness, the things that we can achieve. There's a University of Chicago. There's a study done by a doctor back in 1996. It was a basketball where they split up into four different groups. The control group was a basketball team who did not do anything. The goal was to shoot free throws for an hour. First group, control group, did nothing. Second control group, they were just shooting free throws over and over again for an hour. The third group were not shooting free throws. Instead, they were laying on the floor and visualizing within their minds shooting free throws. And if any of you have done visualization, we're talking like imagining yourself picking up the ball, feeling it in your hand. You know, I have my eyes closed because I'm visualizing it right now. Shooting it, feel the air go through our hands as it leaves it. Interpreting and looking at the exact direction, the curvature, there's another word, the arc of the basketball going into the hoop. The third team was visualizing it. And then the fourth one was doing both. They would take 10 minutes to shoot free throws, 10 minutes visualize, 10-minute free throws, 10-minute visualize for an hour. And at the end of this, it was shocking from the results. Obviously, you had the control group who, when they first started off, towards the hour later of doing nothing, nothing changed. Why would it, right? The second group, who were just shooting free throws, they were sitting at about 24-ish% better at free throw shooting. The ones who visualized in group three, their improvature, that's a new word I'm going to use, was at 26% improvement on their free throw shots after an hour. Now that's crazy because group two and group three having almost the exact same thing, where one is shooting free throws and the other is just visualizing. How powerful is the brain? But let me add even more into it in group four, who with group four, the ones who were shooting free throws and visualizing it, they improved 36% more than the previous hour. Now you tell me, when you add your brain in there, of being able to tune in that radio, of being able to get that physical experience with the power of visualization, of being able to use our creative powerhouse in order to visualize the perfect moments. Putting those two together, you improve 36% over time, which is almost double that of the other two. That's crazy. And that's just to show you how our brains and intuition help us when it comes to limitless success. Not limited, because all of us limit ourselves at times, but limitless success. And I want to share three things with you, if I may, three tips that have helped me in my life, that when it comes to imagination and when it comes to being that creative powerhouse and listening to our intuition, three things that have helped me to break through my own barriers and help me achieve success in my area. The first one has to do with the brain, which is the creative powerhouse. Because in the brain, it broadcasts our thoughts and it attracts similar vibrations. Whatever you output, you input. There's that saying that goes around in the self-development world that you are the you are the accumulation of the five people closest to you. That if you were to take five people who you spend the most time with, bring them in, you can have a pretty good guess on how you act and how you think. There's a reason for that. And the reason is because our brains, what we're surrounded by the most, what we input into ourselves, we're going to output the same. So if our mind is like a tape recorder, recording everything that's going on, our thoughts, things that we listen to, everything that we see, smell, touch, taste, if it's bringing all this information in, then it's going to output what's there the most. Because our brain, even though it's powerful, likes to be comfortable. It likes to do things on repetitive, so it doesn't use that much brain power. So whatever we take in over time brings out even more over time in the long term. So if you bring in toxicity, you bring in negativity, of course, that's what's going to pop out. But if you bring in positive thoughts, affirmations, then it's going to spew out success, resilience, positivity, right? Our brain is so powerful. So when we use that, our brain as our creative powerhouse, and we're able to take in and visualize things going our way, things being perfect, just like the basketball team, things going the perfect way, then the output is going to increase. The second thing is on the other side, which is the sixth sense, which is our inner compass. If you guys know what intuition is our gut feeling. Our intuition is that that people say woman's intuition, where it's just like that doesn't feel right. Right? That's what intuition is. It bridges the gap between logic and the infinite intelligence that's going all around. It's like our gut feelings, the flashes of inspiration that we had, those are the things that can lead to breakthrough ideas. I remember this one time where I was just walking down the street with my wife or up at Salt Lake at Temple Square looking at the beautiful lights. And as we were walking, there was this individual just standing there next to the big pond, which was by the Salt Lake Temple. And they were just sitting there minding their own business. And I'm looking over at them, and for some reason, they just catch my eye. And as I'm looking at them, they don't have any different facial expression. They are just sitting there on their phone. But inside, I have this feeling that something is wrong. And I had this thought go up into thinking, you need to go over to that person and tell them that they are loved. And I thought this was a weird thing. And I'm like, that's weird. A complete stranger. I'm going to go up and to them and tell them that they're loved. They're loved by God and they're loved by the people that they're around with. But trusting myself, knowing that 9 out of 10 times my gut feeling works and my gut feeling is right. So I told my wife, I'm like, hey, give me a second. Walk over to the fountain, sit next to them. They're on their phone and they look up, kind of have that puzzled face on their face, like, hi. And I'm like, hey, this is totally random. I'm just putting that out there. This is totally random. But I want you to know that God loves you. And I also want you to know that the people around you, that they love you as well. And that you're an awesome person. And then I stood up and walked away. I haven't seen that person since. I don't know who they are. I didn't even ask for their name, but I am for sure confident that whatever happened in that moment was a positive thing, was a great thing in their life. And I've had many experiences where I even got the fruit back. People even told me that changed their life. But it's those moments of our inner compass, that when we are aligned with ourselves, when our values and beliefs are matched together with our actions, that our inner compass is able to sync with our soul, and that we're able to then get those gut feelings and flashes of inspiration to then have those moments. And so how do you do that? How do you have those moments? In my experience, spend time with yourself. Like spend time, 5 minutes a day in silence, reflection, just to get in tune with yourself. A lot of times we do things in the manner of we think we have to keep going and keep going. But I think subconsciously we realize that if we stop, we might actually find something out about ourselves. When it comes to the sixth sense and our inner compass, let's spend a little bit more time with ourselves because we know ourselves the best, and get in line between the logic and the infinite intelligence in this universe. Because I've had so many experiences of where that's worked, and that's what you can do to align that inner compass in you. And then the third tip is to bring them together and have the amplifying power through connection. Like mastermind groups where people come together, like Champion Circle. These elevate the collective brain power, they foster creativity, and they bring out that intuition that we just talked about. Like sparks and insights. If any of you have been to a mastermind or have done groups with the mastermind methodologies, you know that when you're in there, it is crazy when you bring like-minded people together for a common cause, what can happen. When you put one person in the spotlight and they're just 100% selfish, being like, this is the challenge that's going on in my life, I don't know what to do. And then everyone else in that group being 100% selfless and sharing their resources, connections, everything that they have to be able to help this individual with the challenge, it is so powerful. And every time I've done this in the correct way that Napoleon Hill lays out in Think and Grow Rich, oh my goodness, I have never walked away from one of those things without golden nuggets or the next step I need to take. So that third thing to help break through that and hit limitless success, get people around you, build connections, amplify that power through those connections. Join a mastermind or join a group that focuses on Think and Grow Rich, hashtag Go Champion Circle. Those groups of people who are like-minded, bringing together to become champions in their lives, that is powerful. And that is how you can break through the limit glass that you have right now and into the realm of results and success. As I close, let me share this final thought with you. Your brain and your sixth sense are your ultimate tools. Feed your mind, trust your gut, surround yourself with energy individuals, high level energy individuals, because they're going to help you unlock your limitless potential. This life is for us to be able to go out and be happy, go out and find joy, and to get the results that we want. The universe is going to give us what we put out into it. And as we serve other people, continue to give, we are going to receive as well. So combine your brain, combine the sixth sense together, go visualize, focus on yourself in the manner of getting that intuition centered within you, and then get people around you who are doing the same, because it is then that you're going to break through that limiting glass and reach the goals and desires that you want.